What's good, folks? RFG is back at it today, and I'm here to decode the significance of the Spider-Man character known as Venom. Okay, here to decode this Venom character who made its first appearance in the Marvel comics and worked its way to the mainstream films. Okay, and what I will say is, like I've been saying this whole time, everything they put in front of us is all for a reason. Okay? Everything that these comic book creators and, Hollywood, the media, everything they put in front of us is for a reason. It's all hidden messages. Okay? Now, this character, there was two characters that were just like each other. You had Venom and then you had Carnage. Okay? You had Venom and then you had Carnage. And both of these characters were taken over by a liquid substance, a dark liquid substance that came from outer space. And this dark liquid substance was its own entity, was its own organism, and it fed off of the energy of these two hosts, okay? And it controlled their personalities, okay? So that's why the liquid was called a symbiote, okay? Because it lived in unison with its host, okay? But it was still able to manipulate the personality and the energy of its host, okay? Now, I think some Mandela effect shit is going on with this Venom, with this whole Venom thing, because I don't know if the people who are my same age bracket can remember, but back in the 90s, okay, I could have sworn back in the 90s that it said in the comics that both symbiotes came from the moon, okay? Because I used to watch Spider-Man damn near religiously back in the late 90s, okay? In the early 2000s, okay? Those were my childhood years, so I can clearly recall both symbiotes that created Carnage and Venom. They both came from the moon. But now, when we look what they're putting on Wikipedia, and we look at the origin of the symbiotes, okay, right here, place of origin, it says Gore's unnamed planet. It says Gore's unnamed planet. That's crazy. Because like I said, I'm pretty sure other people can vouch for me. I know for a fact when I watched Spider-Man in the 90s, in the early 2000s, both symbiotes came from the moon. Okay? I'm just putting that out there. Now, when we look at what Venom embodies, what both Venom and Carnage, what they embody and what they personify, it's nothing but melanin, okay? It's nothing but liquid carbon, which is melanin, okay? And guess what, folks? I know for a fact that both of the symbiotes, they came from the moon, okay? Because both symbiotes represent liquid carbon, which is melanin, and the original carbonated people, okay, they were spliced into existence on the moon first. Okay, it happened on the moon first, folks. That's why in your good book, the first chapter is called what? It's called Genesis. It's called Genesis. Genesis means the genes of Isis, okay? And Isis was your original moon goddess, okay? And I'm going to be showing and proving today, goddammit. I'm going to be showing and proving today, okay? This is Venom Decoded, and this is deeper than what any person could ever imagine, okay? So when we really want to put into perspective who Venom really personifies, who does the character Venom really personify, not only does the symbiote represent melanin, but the character Venom himself, okay, represents a Kemetic deity known as Kansu. All right. I'm gonna say this again. The character Venom. Okay, you guys see him? Venom in Spider-Man. This is who Venom represents in ancient Egypt. Venom is none other than the Egyptian god Khonsu. Okay? Now, when you look at Khonsu, okay, you see his skin complexion, it's green just like Osiris, which means that he was so heavily melanated that his skin shined green, just like Osiris, all right? Okay? And when we search online for the Kemetic god of the moon, this is what comes up. Khonsu. Okay? Khonsu. And this is who your Venom character is personifying. All right? Now, let me explain how this works. Now, you can see all this little basic shit that they want to put about Khonsu on Wikipedia. Okay? But we know the Wikipedia information only goes so far. You see? So, when we look at what Khonsu really represents, and we look at what the coffin texts say, and the pyramid texts say, okay, coming straight out of Kemet, straight out of the pyramids and the temples of Kemet, this is what they have to say about Khonsu. This is what the Egyptians from the Old Kingdom, okay, from the Old Kingdom, this is what they had to say about Khonsu. During the early part of Egyptian history, Khonsu seems to have been considered to be a violent and dangerous god. He appears in the cannibal hymn, part of the pyramid text, as a bloodthirsty deity who helps the deceased king to catch and eat the other gods, and the coffin text describe him as Khonsu, who lives on hearts, okay? Who basically lives by consuming the hearts of the deceased, okay? Consuming the heart chakras of the deceased, okay? And this is directly tied with the moon being a object that that induces reincarnation, okay? An object that was created for the sole purpose to keep the orgone energy of souls trapped here on this earthly realm, okay? Okay, this is directly tied with Khonsu. You see, he appears in the Cannibal Hymn, which is a song about a cannibal. Okay? And I explained in full detail how the sons of Cain were cursed by the moon goddess, and they were the first cannibals. That's why Cancer, the zodiac sign Cancer, is directly linked to the moon. Okay? Because the moon goddess cursed the sons of Cain and gave them cancer. So right here it says in the pyramid text and the coffin text, there's a cannibal hymn, part of the pyramid text, okay, and it says Khonsu is depicted as a bloodthirsty deity who helps the deceased king catch and eat other gods, and the coffin text describe him as he who lives on hearts. Now, okay, here's Khonsu, heavily melanated, okay, that's why he's depicted with green skin, okay, and we see this character, Venom, extremely dark skin, extremely melanated, and from my knowledge, okay, the symbiote that created Venom comes from the moon, okay, just how Khonsu, being the god that lives on the hearts, okay, of living beings, and is a dangerous bloodthirsty god, okay, they call Khonsu a dangerous bloodthirsty god who is heavily carbonated. Okay, he's partly in control of this matrix, and he is the major consumer. Khonsu, you see, he is the major cannibal, the major consumer. All right, that's why you see this moon right here, this Pac-Man game. The moon is a consumer of souls. You see, the moon is a consumer of souls. The moon is ruled by Khonsu. Okay. The moon, folks, the moon is ruled by who? The moon is ruled by Khonsu, the consumer. Khonsu is over the moon, and the moon is in control of the realm of the parasites, the realm of the cannibals. This is why Khonsu was mentioned in the cannibal hymn in the pyramid text, okay? Because he's in control of the realm of consumers, the realm of parasites. You see? Once again, his name is Khonsu, in control of the moon, and the moon is the consumer of souls. That's why he's called Khonsu. Khonsu, consume, Khonsu, consume. You see? You see? He's the God that consumes the soul after death for reincarnation. Khonsu. This is how the original Kemites, the original Egyptians depicted him. I don't give a good goddamn what they said about Khonsu in the New Kingdom, because in the New Kingdom, Kemet was under rulership of the Hyksos, pharaohs. Okay? And the Hyksos pharaohs were not part of this, the so-called original bloodline. All right? Okay? It's time to wake up and accept reality for what it is. Now I'm going to tell you how deep this is. Khonsu is the moon god, dating back to the later periods of the old dynasty in ancient Egypt. Okay? Now, this individual, this god Khonsu, is responsible for knocking Isis off of her throne. Okay? Khonsu is responsible for knocking Isis off of her throne. Isis was the original moon goddess. Now how can we prove that? In the texts that were given by Egyptologists, they're telling us that Isis rules over the connection between the sun and the Sirius star. But see, Isis was the original moon goddess. Now, I just want to ask everyone listening, what sense does it make for a masculine deity to be over a feminine object like the moon? What sense does it make for a masculine deity to be over an object that is ruled by feminine energy? We all know, everybody who practices alchemy and who studies alchemy knows that the moon is a feminine astrological object. Okay? So why do we have a masculine deity ruling over that? That tells you that some fuckery is involved. Okay? And RFG is about to expose the fuckery. Okay? So Khonsu knocks Isis off of her throne as moon goddess. Now, why would Isis be knocked off of her throne as moon goddess? Well, let's find out. Okay? When Father Time separated the waters below from the waters above, Father Time created the realm of air. Okay? To keep souls incarnating over and over again in this realm, so he could keep harnessing and living off of that energy. Now, Father Time wanted a deity to rule over the moon, so he created Atom, which is nothing but light photons put together. Okay, so Atom is your biblical Adam, and then Eve is your moon. The biblical Eve is your moon. So you have Adam and the moon. Okay, the moon is supposed to be in control over this realm of consumers, over this realm of parasites. You see, and this is why Father Time created the atom and the moon. Now, the moon, okay, the ruler over the moon was originally supposed to be Eve, right? Now, the biblical Eve is the Kemetic goddess Isis. Okay? The biblical Eve is the Kemetic goddess Isis. Now, how can we prove this? Okay, the Greeks depicted Isis as their moon goddess. The Greeks depicted Isis as their moon goddess, and the Greeks got their information directly from the temples in Memphis, okay, in Kemet, okay? That's where they got the information that connected Isis directly to the moon. Now, when we look at, okay, what went on when Father Time wanted Isis to be over the, to have control over the moon, Isis rebelled. Isis rebelled against Father Time, okay? Because she didn't want control over this hellish realm, over this realm of parasites. So Osiris, who was basically Isis's wife, he caused her pineal gland to become activated, okay? So, you know, Osiris is basically the serpent in the Garden of Eden, and that's what caused the rebellion, okay? This is why the goddess Isis is not in control of the moon anymore. It's because she rebelled. Osiris caused her to rebel against Father Time, okay? Against Set, against Saturn, against Kronos, okay? And so after Eve rebelled, after Isis Eve rebelled, okay, Khonsu was given rulership over the moon, okay? After Isis rebelled against Father Time, okay, after this rebellion, Khonsu was given rulership over the moon, all right? Isis wanted to use the moon's energy to, you know, be used for the embetterment of the humans on the earth. And, you know, Father Time didn't want that. You know, Father Time didn't want that. He wanted this to be the realm of the parasites. So, you know, he wanted a deity to rule over the moon, so the moon would be able to send low vibration ions, low vibrational frequencies onto the Earth's surface to keep our melanin at a low vibration. You see, that's what Father Time wanted. Isis didn't want that. Okay, Isis didn't want that after her pineal gland was fully activated again, and Isis rebelled. Okay, so Isis, the rebellion of Isis, okay, for her to leave her rulership over the moon, that is the same theology as Eve biting the apple and leaving the Garden of Eden, folks. The Garden of Eden, folks, it's the same. All right? They say that Eve brought sin into the world. They say that Eve brought sin into the world, right? How do the Babylonians say the word moon? They say sin. The Babylonians call moon sin. And in your good book, it says that Eve brought sin into the world. Okay? And sin is the moon, according to the Babylonians. Okay? And when do we see the moon? We see the moon during the evening. We see the moon during the evening. And Father Time likes to say Eve brought sin and evil into the world. Didn't Father Time say that Eve brought sin and evil into the world? It's called evil because that's Father Time throwing, you see what I'm saying, this situation of sin being cast into the world. Father Time is trying to blame that on the woman. That's why Father Time, okay, after the woman rebelled, Father Time put Khonsu over the rulership of the moon. This is the Saturn moon matrix, folks. Khonsu, to consume, Khonsu. He's over the realm of consumers. He's over the realm of the parasites. Okay? Khonsu. What is this tiger doing? This tiger has to consume other life forms to stay alive in this goddamn earthly paradigm because our light is vibrating at such a low frequency. Okay? And this took place after our moon goddess rebelled. Okay? After Isis rebelled. Okay? And Isis was later formed into what the Christians know as Eve. Okay? And Father Time tried to blame this this rebellion, you know, he tried to say that this quote unquote caused evil to come into the world. That's bullshit. Okay, that's bullshit, baloney. Okay, after Isis rebelled, okay, the spot as a moon deity was vacant, and Father Time put Khonsu up to the task of taking over the throne, okay, over the rulership of the moon, of the energy of the moon, okay. So Khonsu is your Venom character, okay. What is Venom all about? He's a heavily dark melanated being, but he's on a very low frequency and a very low vibration. Okay, he is 100% completely controlled by his emotions and his feelings, and he is a consumer. He is a bloodthirsty consumer. You see, Venom is a bloodthirsty, low vibrational consumer, just like the Kemetic god Khonsu. Just like the Kemetic god Khonsu. You see, a cannibal. You see, lives off of the hearts of the living. All right, a parasite, just like Venom. Khonsu over the realm of the consumers. We have to keep eating and living off of other life forms to stay alive in this goddamn low vibration. Okay? Okay? So when Isis rebelled, that's how you get your Adam and Eve story. Okay? And then, you know, Father Time made up the bullshit lie of the woman, you know what I'm saying, so-called bringing sin into this world, but the rebellion, okay, was justified, and the deity that took over the moon, okay, is responsible for humanity conducting itself in a very low vibration for thousands of years. Okay, this deity right here, Khonsu. Okay, very, very deep information, man. Very deep information. This is the God of your Bible. You see, this is the fucking parasitic God of your Bible, and the parasitic God of your Bible wanted Isis. Okay, Set wanted Isis to use the moon's energy. Okay, to keep this realm a realm of parasites, and she rebelled. All right, she rebelled. So Father Time made up the bullshit lie that, you know, sin was brought into this world because of the woman. That's bullshit. Okay, Genesis means genes of Isis. Genes of Isis, and Isis is Eve. Flat out. Flat out. Okay? Okay? It's RFG, goddammit. And I'm out here breaking, shattering paradigms. Now, when we look at this Venom character, what was Venom's weakness? What was Venom's weakness, folks? The symbiote, the low vibrational symbiote, which represents low vibrational melanin. It represents melanin in a low vibration. What was its weakness? Its weakness was sound frequency. Sound frequency. You see, when Spider-Man, who was really a Nazi, when Spider-Man knocked on these metal poles here, it created a vibrational wave of sound. And that vibrational wave, okay, sent the symbiote into a frenzy. Okay? Now, this is the connection between the sound frequency and the melanin. All right? It shows that melanin has a huge connection to sound frequency. All right? So the sound frequency basically destroyed the low vibrational melanin. Okay? So what will do this for us in real life? Cymatic vibration. If you get enough sunlight on a daily basis, or if you go out in nature during the night hours, and you go away from the metropolis of the city, the crowded part of the city, and you go out on the outskirts of the city, out in the wilderness, you'll be able to see the stars at night, okay? And if you go out there and you meditate, you'll be able to tap into the cymatic vibration of the universe. The cymatic vibration is nothing but orgone energy in motion. You see, cymatic vibration is nothing but orgone energy in motion, folks. It's not a game. It's not a game at all. Okay? Okay, so if you want to shield your melanin from the low vibrations of the moon, if you want to shield your melanin from the low vibrations of the moon, you have to get your proper light codes from the sun, and you have to go out in nature at night and connect to the cosmic current of orgone energy, okay, which is the cymatic vibration. The cymatic vibration shields your carbon from parasitic spiritual deities, okay, and it shields it from low vibrations, okay, the low vibrations of Khonsu, you see, who is Venom, you see, according to the pyramid text, he's the deity. Khonsu is the deity that knocked Isis off her throne as moon goddess. And, you know, Khonsu is responsible for the moon being in control of the realm of consumers. You see, he's responsible for the moon being a consumer of souls. Khonsu, you see, the deity over the moon. All right. Now, I know eventually during this age of Aquarius, more information is going to present itself in the future, okay? And eventually the parasite is going to be vanquished as we get further into the age of Aquarius, okay? So Isis can reclaim her throne. So Isis and Osiris can reclaim their thrones, okay? Because Osiris, aka Asar, is the true Christ, and Isis is responsible for resurrecting the Christ. Okay, Isis resurrected her husband, who is the Christ, Asar, aka Osiris. This is why the elites, they hate this name. That's why they named the terrorist group that they created. They had to give it this name. You see, to tarnish this name. You see, because those people, those elites in control of this world stage, they were cursed by Isis. Okay? So with all that being said, that about wraps up Venom Decoded. Okay? I appreciate everyone who supports RFG and Atlantean movement. Please like, share, and subscribe. It's the Chosen One Man. I'm out.